What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So I have a great video for y'all today talking about Google trend analysis for the market for Metazoo from a 12-month perspective, as well as Pokemon from a 12-month perspective, both looking at it from the local US aspect, because of course I don't want to compare Metazoo to Pokemon on a global scale, knowing that Pokemon is international and well loved across the world, and Metazoo is growing very rapidly. So just so you know, Google Trends is a very powerful tool. Probably one of the most powerful tools in the world that you can utilize to scale your business, and that way you can tell what products and what topics are breaking out. You can use this to your advantage for investing. You can also use it to your advantage for collecting. You can tell when a product is going down. For example, right now you can see Metazoo is having a slight dip. Pokemon has had a long downtrend since the exhaustion of 2020 hype, but it does not mean that you cannot collect in certain things, right? So excuse me, I don't just mean collecting, I mean investing in certain things. Now, I am not a financial advisor, but I have done a ton of, research and analysis on this. So anybody can drop in, just tell me what you think about what I'm going to present to you today. So what we're looking at right here with Metazoo, you're going to have, just like your stock charts, you're going to have your lower lows, your higher highs. You're going to have your parabolic increases and your reversals, your downtrends, and all of that stuff, right? So you're going to have your retest. And what you're looking at right here, you can look at this chart. And this is from the US for the past 12 months. Right around, we have August, we had Metazoo at 100, which was a large parabolic increase. And what I have noticed in the Metazoo market, there are a lot of people that scalp, invest, whatever you want to call it, right? They're in it for the money. And you also have some who just enjoy the cards. Cards have been very hard to get a hold of, like anything else. Even in the Jordan market, the shoe market, collectible market, it's all the same. If something is very hyped, then someone's going to buy it, someone is going to scalp it. It's going to be very hard to get your hands on. And when you see this parabolic increase, when it starts to go down, a lot of people get upset because they start thinking Metazoo is crashing. Is this actually a good investment? Is this good for long term? Is it going to last? And bear in mind that any market that goes up, especially parabolically as fast as Metazoo has, it has to breathe. Nothing goes up in an upwards trend forever. And that's because it takes a lot of time, money, resources, and work to get it to keep going up. So you have that correction right there. You have that temporary reversal where it went down and it dipped right around August 22nd to 48. And then it started going back up. You had a lower low. And then over here in October timeframe at 96, it went parabolic again. So Metazoo continues to go up. It is not a dead game. It is only growing right now, especially if you haven't heard about Target is getting Metazoo on the shelves, exclusive brick and mortar products, promotional items in April of 2022. You have Walmart getting second edition as well. Products, you have them getting promotional products for the shelves. And I also hear about GameStop possibly getting Metazoo as well. So that is big. Now you can see right here, currently Metazoo is on a small dip. That doesn't mean that it's going to continue to go down. But when you're looking at investing into something like this or picking up products in the stock market, they say something like, do not try to catch a falling knife. That means as the market is starting to go down until it retests that lower low or that low and start to reverse to go back up, then you want to make sure that possibly it starts going back up before you try to buy into the hype or buy into the items. Now that the market is going down right now, we do not know where it is headed, how far it will go down before it trends back up. But I do think that Metazoo will start trending back up, especially with the huge catalyst they have in 2022. Now, just because Metazoo as a whole is going down does not mean that all of Metazoo is going down. And I'm going to show you exactly what I mean. So I'm going to change the search topic to Metazoo Cryptid. Let me put Cryptid Nation. Okay, so now we have Metazoo Cryptid Nation for the past 12 months. And now we see something different, right? We see an upwards trend. We see a reversal. We see it going back up. Cryptid Nation is going back up because second edition just came out. So when we go to the bottom, we can look at related topics and related queries. And this is really big for you YouTubers out there, especially if you're trying to find a topic, your SEO, your tags that somebody is going to want to look at. What is being searched on Google? And as you go down here, you can see booster packs, tops, playing cards, collectible card game, pre-order, and Metazoo booster boxes. All of this stuff for Metazoo is on a uptrend and a breakout. So that is big for Metazoo. Cryptid Nation is going up, right? It is going up. Now, when we look at Pokemon, you know, this is the last 12 months. Pokemon is also going down, and you have right around, let's actually go back to the last 5 years, right? So we see Pokemon had a huge parabolic increase towards the end of 2019 going into 2020, and you have a lot of ups and downs, and you had another pretty good parabolic increase right around November of 21. So when we scroll down, we see some of the big things that people are actually waiting for. Pokemon Sword and Shield video game. I know Arceus was on here somewhere. I think I'm saying that right. Arceus. Pokemon Sword and Shield, Pokemon Brilliant Diamond. And you can probably just search specific stuff in here. Let's just see if Brilliant Stars comes up. And you see this huge parabolic increase right here. It had retested, reversal, went down, went up, went down, and it just went parabolic. January 2nd to January 8th, Pokemon Brilliant Stars 100 has shot up. And that is huge. That's because people are anticipating this drop for Pokemon. So, like I tell a lot of people, there are some people that don't believe in the collectible market. I look at the collectible market just like anything else, gold, silver, stocks, crypto, NFTs. If somebody believes in it, there's hype in it, there's sentiment behind it, and what someone is willing to pay for an item, then it makes it valuable to somebody. I think that commodities, as far as you know, your collectibles, your trading card games, and all of that stuff is a very, very viable investment. And I say that because people have become rich, they've made lots of money, or they've made decent money off the collectible trading card game market. And why does that happen? It's because nostalgia is a very powerful driver. Nostalgia is very powerful. And why is it very powerful? I can tell you why, right? So I have a quick story. Just leading me from Metazoo, right? So when Metazoo came out, the first thing I looked at was, what the heck is that, right? I know Steve Aoki, he was talking about Metazoo, and I was like, it looks stupid. Is this some kind of like zoo game? I don't know what this is. It doesn't sound very cool. When I've seen it a couple of times, psychologically, it sticks inside of your head where you're like, hey, let me check this out. Let me give it a try, give it a shot. And then the cryptids and all of the folklore, it grew on me. And it brought back a bunch of nostalgia, which is very powerful because you have all of your stories from when you were a child, you know, like Mothman, if it's Chupacabra, Bigfoot, and all of that. So really, really cool stuff. Well, what Metazoo did was even more powerful. I haven't been into Pokemon since I was like a teenager, 14 years old, when Pokemon came out, and I can't really explain how it felt to open a Pokemon pack. When you got a really cool Pokemon when you were like 14 years old, or you actually went in and you played the game, right? You had LGSs where you just made friends and played the game. It was so nostalgic back then. And you open a pack and you pull a Charizard, and that feeling was just unmatched, right? And then Pokemon started to change. They hit that weird era, you know, where the Gold Stars and the XY, or not XY, EX era came out, and everybody didn't care. And now it's just very expensive today. But, you know, I kind of faded away from Pokemon for a while where it dipped. And when I started opening Metazoo, I got back into Pokemon, and that nostalgic force came back, right? Metazoo got me back into Pokemon. And I realized that Metazoo as well as Pokemon are both a very viable investment. But you have to choose the proper items, and you have to educate yourself, because a lot of it is based off rarity, exclusivity, and stuff like that. Following these trends and understanding what is undervalued, what is going up, what is going down, and when is the right time to buy, whether it's for your collecting or whether it's for your investing side of it. So one thing for Pokemon that I look at, and we know right now, Metazoo don't have a lot of sites dedicated just yet to pricing because it's such a new game. But PokemonPrice.com is pretty good for Pokemon. And there's a ton of different sites that can show you Pokemon pricing. But an example would be that Gold Star EX era, right? So you have a lot of cards back then, like your Rayquazas, your Charizards that were Gold Stars, and they are very, very low on the population scale. There are not many of them. So when you're looking at a Rayquaza, this is from 2005. This Gold Star Rayquaza, you can see there's probably roughly right around 400 for PSA period. There's 47 tins in the world, 47 tins. And what I look at with Pokemon when I'm investing, one is your fan favorites. So Rayquaza, your evolution characters, your Pikachus, your Charizard, all of that stuff, right? If they have a really banger card in that set or a couple of cards like Evolving Skies, then you know down the road in the future, once they stop printing, that should go up in value. And it also depends on how many is going in there to get graded to PSA. So they have a huge backlog right now. And what that means is that once they start catching up and they flood the market with a lot of these cards that are being graded, don't freak out, but expect these prices on these cards to come down. Some of them, the super modern, your Umbreons, they are really high right now because it's a very favored card and they are sending a ton of them into PSA, so they will level off. But back then, when you had these gold stars and stuff like that, these were not heavily favored back then. They were heavily played, and there's not a lot of them in great condition, and you only got one probably every 2 to 3 booster boxes. So you have 400 of these in the world. And you can see gold stars do not go down a lot, and they don't sell a lot because they are very pricey, but they're also very liquid. If you buy one on the lower end of the scale, say a PSA 5, they are highly desirable. But when you're looking at a 10, there's only 47, right? You have one here that sold at $45,000 right around December 13th of 2020, around that hype time frame. And then looking at 2021 August, you have 34,000. So roughly a $10,000 decrease. I mean, that's not great, but that's not bad considering what you were buying them for. I mean, look at this. In 2017, this was a $3,000 card. And then in 2020, 3 years later, this was a $45,000 card. And I mean, just last year, recently, you had it at $34,000. So that's a pretty big increase. And I would say if that's not an investment, I don't know what is, right? So you're looking at fan favorites, you're looking at scarcity, rarity, exclusivity, and I think that's why a lot of these companies like WotC is going to go with serialized cards in the future, because that shows a person how valuable and how scarce that card really is, how valuable it really, really is. So looking at one more, right? So we have a Charizard Holo. Now, this one right here, around 2021 February, sold for a large amount of $3,900 for a PSA 9. And we see recently this is actually went down, wow, pretty low. We have $873, so it went down quite a bit. But this shows you that it's really based on, like I said, how many, the population count, but you also have a supply and demand factor. So demand has to outpace supply. And when, say the 2020 increase, there was a lot more demand, a lot more people coming into the Pokemon market back then. And then people are starting to exit right now. And people are trying to off some of their cards. But it doesn't mean that these are not good for a long-term hold. Now, the market has been on a huge downtrend. So there are some good deals out there right now. Some very, very good deals. And one of them that I have mentioned for the modern market, because you have a lot of boosters out there, your Evolving Skies, Darkness Ablaze, Vivid Voltage. There's a lot of them. There's a few that I think are good. Vivid Voltage has, your Pikachu in there. And you have right here your Evolutions. You have Rayquazas, Umbreons, everything in Evolving Skies. And I think this is one of the best modern sets to hold. You also have Battle Styles. So Battle Styles is not a highly favored set, but it is so low right now. It is so cheap right now that if you're getting boxes around in the $80 range, I mean, where else can they go? Are they going to go down to $50? I really think that you would still make money off of something like Battle Styles, 5-10 years down the road if you have a case of it, because people tend to forget how favored that set was. So it hitting $100, why couldn't it, right? A lot of non-favored boosters back in the day, there was a lot of them in the XY era that are $1,000, $3,000 right now. And it's because over time, there's nostalgia. There's some kid that is opening these Evolving Skies right now. And a base set of Pokemon is valuable to us that opened them when we were younger, right? Or getting into Pokemon knowing they're valuable. But some kid is opening Metazoo right now. Some kid is opening Evolving Skies. And this is what they knew Pokemon was when they were young. And that means 5-10 years as they start to get older and then it comes back around, they're going to want these again. You know, as these kids become adults later, and they have kids, they're going to remember sets like Evolving Skies, and they're going to say, wow, I remember those VMAXs and those Umbreons in that set. Now, all of that goes to say this. My next giveaway is not Metazoo. So far, it has only been Metazoo. I am giving away an Evolving Skies Minty Crisp Booster Box for free. All you have to do is subscribe, comment, and you will be entered once I hit 800 subscribers. So traditionally, I've done it every 250 subscribers. We have done those giveaways fairly quickly. I'm almost at 600 subscribers already, and I want to tap into the Pokemon market because I am a huge Pokemon fan as well. So I think this will have some Pokemon fans jump on board as well. This is one of my best and favorite sets that are modern, super modern right now. So God bless all of you. I thank all of you for tuning in. I appreciate each and every one of you, and good luck on the giveaway, and I'll see y'all soon with another video. Out.